Socks. All right, let's get started. Welcome everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm actually going to turn myself off today. Oh, how can I? Oh, where did my bloody scene stuff go? Oh. I don't know where. Because usually my little things are in there and I just turn them on and off. Oh, I just don't have time for this. No, not the stats, not the scenes, view. No, not the stats. Doesn't matter. You guys are just gonna have to see me eat pizza. Welcome everyone. Tonight we're going to implement the story point functionality into NearBeach. So here's a relevant ticket. So yeah. Now the story points are kinda already implemented, kinda not implemented at the same time. They're a holdover from an old version of NearBeach, where I should have deleted most of the database and didn't. I had story points implemented in there, and I just never went back and implemented it properly. So we are going to implement that. If you have a look at the models, we've got requirement item. You got requirement item, story point min, max, and so forth like that in there. We're going to go through and properly implement this. those particular points. Yeah. Oh, we've reached our first ad break today. I'm going to share socks. So for those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour on Twitch so people don't get pre-rolled ads. Yeah, don't worry, you don't get ads. And it's a good excuse to point my camera away from my face as I'm stuffing my face full of pizza. And I sprinkled some of my pizza with a chili mix, which I made. It is tasty. Not overly spicy, which is nice. So, yeah, I put one dragon's breath in it, along with a bunch of all my other chilies and stuff like that, and the flavor's amazing. Alright, I'm going to continue patting socks for a little bit more. Have I got the chat? Yeah. Alright. She's a bit upset at the moment. Don't know why. I think it's because I didn't chase her onto the roof and get her down that tonight. And she's like, no, I'm not happy with you. You meant to do that. Oh, no. Oh, down. And welcome back, everyone. All right, let's get back into it. So I'm going to get rid of this. She's upset because she's a cat. Yes, she is. And welcome back, Scotty B. How are you going? Excuse me not showing my face. I am currently eating dinner, which is just pizza. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. Okay, one thing I want to do with the story points, it was a nice tasting pizza. So I didn't make the base today. I just didn't have time, so I bought the base. I didn't make the sauce because I didn't have any time, and I'm not really good at making this pizza sauce. The capsicums I grew. The cheese, of course, I bought from the store. But the chili mix is the chili mix which I kind of made. So, yeah. It's got one dragon's breath in it, so there is a little bit of chilliness to it. However, more of the flavor comes through than the chili strength. So, yeah. Which means I am going to be very happy with that chili mix. Now, with the requirement items, originally we had a range for the story points. So we actually had a minimum and a maximum. And yeah, we had a range and we didn't do anything with it. And I don't know if we're going to keep that. And Marmik, how are you going? Yeah, it's socks again. She's like, what? Where am I? So, with requirement items, we're probably going to... We're going to get rid of the range. And what we're going to implement is just a basic story point field. And we're going to be like, all right, cool, this is it. Yeah, she does help out a lot, except today. She didn't help out today. Instead, she slept on the bed. Which, in a way, is kind of helping. So, where was I? So, yeah, I'm going to get rid of these. These are just going to be like that, and... So we'll have requirement item story point. The models will equal an integer field with a default equals 1. Easy done. She'd be like, no, she'll complain constantly. Let's just say that. And she'll make demands, like tuna, which she shouldn't be eating because she constantly throws up after eating it. Which is annoying. Alright, cool. So, we've got the requirement item story point. I won't be able to see that drop because the iPad is off. Sorry, I haven't set this up yet. I should take my iPad to work as a secondary screen. Alright. There we go. Sorry about that. And Nightbot. Damn it, Nightbot. Always winning. Okay, there we go. So, we're going to do that. If we were going to get like an estimation for the requirement items, we would do it a different way, because you want multiple people to estimate, and then you would be like, all right, cool, this is why I estimated this much, this is why I estimated this much, and then make you know, do a proper value from there. So we've done that one. Now we're going to go to project. That should be a capital P. And we also have the min-max here. You can handle all of that. Fair enough. Fair enough. Also, she's had kittens before I got her. She had kittens, so you never know. There could be one of her spawnlings out there. Now, we've also done the project one here too with a min and max. Yeah, I know why I've done it. It's for estimations and stuff like that, but yeah, once again, I would do it a bit differently. So project story point equals models dot integer field default equals 1. Easy done. And then we're just going to go to task. Yeah, we're getting rid of that. Task story point models integer field default is going to be 1. So that's how we're going to tackle this. They're just cold. Yeah, it's currently really, really cold here. So I've got fingerless gloves, just to help. So I can still type, but it just keeps my hands warm. Scotty B, Nightbot rigged the game. Yes, yes, it does. It constantly drops at the same time, so it constantly gets the same score. If I have, and this has happened before, if I have a crash on the stream, it will never win again. So yeah. For that stream, I should say. Just because its timings go out of sync. Alright, so we've got that. Ooh, one thing I should be doing. Yep, alright, get status should, alright, cool. Get flow feature start. We'll do this as story points. Okay, cool. Yeah, I forgot to do that. Alright. Sucks, I need Thank you. So when we do the models, so I'm just going to go source VM bin activate. We're going to go Python 3 manage make migrations. It's going to make a new migration file. It was project story min renamed to Ooh, this is a good sort of question, and I'm just going to say no. It needs to be a capital N, I think. Okay, so we're now removing those particular fields and we're adding these particular fields, which is what we want. I don't want to move the data from here into here because these would have been default. Oh, socks, I wouldn't be licking my fingers. I've had the chili mix. She's like, all right, she's not yelping. That's good. Once I was in my practical examination, the AC was pointing right at me. My whole body was freezing. Yep. Typing with cold hands is painful. Yes, it is. I just get very numb fingers and I just can't type as fast. Is that... no. I'm just really cold. And I'm not that grey. I've got the ginger still. So... we've got the remove field, project story, all that kind of stuff. We've got that, we've got the defaults. So we're not technically deleting any data because we haven't done anything with it. Unless the user has been in the database, been like, oh, I can use these particular fields for stuff, which is very unlikely. They've just been sitting there. Once again, when I deleted the data, when I deleted the code back in August 2020, I should have deleted the database stuff too and built everything from the ground up. It would have been a lot easier for me too. I could have got everything perfect. Then again, these things happen. We'll be doing the database refactor soon. That's going to be... Yeah, it's going to be a thing. But when I say soon, mainly September. All right, I'm going to apply those migrations. So Python 3 manage migrate. So now it's applied those migrations. Now the one problem is we're going to be breaking our fixtures. Our fixtures won't work. So if we go Python 3 right now, manage test, this will actually come up with a bunch of issues. Which should, there go, all a bunch of E's and all that kind of stuff. That's because it can't import the fixtures. So we will need to be making changes to that and getting those to work. But the good news is we can just, that's easy to do for us. That won't be too hard. We can jump between branches and get that fixed. So yeah, we'll do that before we... I'm going to say we're going to do that right now. I was planning to watch the stream while having lunch, but I guess my family doesn't want me to have a few pieces. All right, no. Yep, enjoy. Understandable. So we're currently on the feature story point branch. If we go git checkout develop, and we remove the database, which is fine. It's a test database. We're not fussed about that. And then we go Python 3 manage migrate. This is the old data in here. So we're done with that. And then we go Python 3 manage load data. And we can load data from the fixtures. I'm going to go no setup first, just because it'll be easier. So we've done that, and then if we go and go git checkout feature story points, and we just go Python 3 manage migrate. Oh, it's applied everything. Oh, I know why, because I haven't committed anything. But that's perfectly fine. We can go Python 3 manage dump data format JSON indent to, and then we just go NearBeach fixtures, no setup. That should work. Now I've just got to double check one other thing. I am going to open up NearBeach fixtures, no setup. I'm going to make sure, yeah, nothing's up at the top. All right, cool. Yeah, sweet. So, git status. Applying database migrations for story points. Okay, that's fine. We've just got it. So if I go git checkout, if I go git status, we'll be fine. And then if I go git checkout develop, I remove the database. I then go Python 3 manage migrate. It should add everything in but the latest. Maybe not. I'm not too fast. Manage load data, NearBeach fixtures. Okay, no, that worked. And the bub I know, how are you going? You're still quite deep in the workday, but I'll be lucky. Thank you very much, the bub I know. I hope your work is going well. Mine's been extremely busy lately. That's fine. Oh, which reminds me. Sorry, I've just got to do something. Sorry. I just got to put a reminder in. I know I did it tomorrow. All right. All right. Sorry about that. That was just me putting in a reminder in my calendar. Look quite cold over there? Yes, it is actually really cold here at the moment. So if we were to go to Google and Melbourne weather. Yeah, it's cold. It is cold. Yeah, very, very cold. Yeah. Now it depends. It's in Fahrenheit it's 50, in Celsius it's 10. So yeah. And for other people, I do know some people get in the negatives, and yes, we don't get into the negatives. So I'm not used to that coldish weather. So yeah, I don't actually have the heater on in here. My computer's actually trying to warm up this room. So yeah. Yeah. I'm assuming the unholy diver, you're like, that's not Fahrenheit, is it 10 Fahrenheit? Holy hell. No, don't worry, it's Celsius. So yeah, water hasn't frozen yet. I'll still take 50 over 97 Fahrenheit. Oh yeah, fair enough. That is quite warm. And the Odor, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. So yeah, welcome. We are, sorry, we're just going to quickly fix up our fixtures. I'm pretty sure I could have done a pun there, but I just didn't. So we switched over to this, and then we just go Python 3, manage, migrate, and we should apply the last migrations. Perfect. Python 3, manage. And then it is, what distro am I using? I'm just using plain old Ubuntu, vanilla. I haven't done anything to it whatsoever. So I used to spend a little time, when I had a lot of time on my hands, sort of trying to make it look as neat as possible. But nowadays, I'm just like, vanilla's fine. So yeah. Here in Sweden, that's t-shirt and shorts weather. Fair enough, yes. It doesn't snow here. It very rarely gets under 0 degrees here. It gets very rare that it gets down to 3 degrees Celsius here, so yeah. I live close to a bay, so the bay sort of warms up the air around it. And what we want to do is dump data with format JSON indent to into the NearBeach fixtures and the basic setup. And then if we do the Python, I'm just going to clear the screen. Python manage test. Hopefully we don't hit any issues now. Currently learning web development, and I'm using Ubuntu 22.04 at the moment. Oh, fair enough. Yes, what version am I on again? I think I'm on 24.04. Don't know. Yeah, 24.04. All right. So the tests are working. What I want to do, git status, git add, those particular things in there, git commit, applied working fixtures, updated fixtures to work with new database structure. Easy done. So we've done that. And then now we just test things out. So I'm just going to build stuff. I am going to get npm run watch working here. I'm also going to put this on its own screen. I usually do, I just didn't before because I was running a bit late because I was making pizza. Because I was hungry. And I wanted to try out my new chili mix on pizza. It is good. I am really enjoying it. So, yeah. I am happy about my chilies. So, going over here, we're just going to go localhost 8000. Sorry. We're going to jump in as admin, but I'm going to also jump in as dark admin. Like so, pizza is effectively a solution to yes, it is totally. What advice would you give to a sophomore in college who's learning web development? Build stuff. It doesn't need to be a large sort of like what I'm doing, like a project management or something like that. It can be something small, to-do list. You might be like, all right, cool. I wanted to see how to actually get data from an API. So I built this to download the data and format it in a particular way. Just build stuff. Reason being is, you'll figure out how to sort of do it yourself. It's also great for interviews because you can talk about what your little projects that you built. And it doesn't matter if they don't make it past the proof of concept stage. That's fine. You might build something and be like, all right, okay, I'm done with this. I'm moving on to the next thing I want to build. That's perfectly fine. So, yeah. You said chili on pizza. 100% use APIs as much as you can. Yeah. In fact, NearBeach has its API. We're currently building NearBeach's API. So yeah, learn React. People hate on it, but it's most, yes. All right, cool. If we're actually talking about languages and stuff like that, So I'm just going to seek.com.au, use a job searching platform that is relevant for your area. Let's say you want to do web development. You search for that in and around your area. And it will literally, all right, React, boom. You're like, all right, cool. Digital and web. You would look into here. You would search down for experience, requirements and skills, HTML, CSS, plugin, themes, page builder. Oh, that's WordPress. With the plugins, that's definitely React for WordPress. So WordPress has a lot of React in it. They're not saying anything about React. React website developer, junior web developer. We'll go technical skills, PHP. Extends best practices. This is jQuery. All right. Model view controller, design patterns. That's pretty easy to look. Thereafter frameworks, like, all right. So yeah, just go through job sort of stuff to look at languages and frameworks that you should sort of look into. Yeah, that's okay. The Yodor. Check out codes with Mosh. Here's a little. Yep. Yeah, cool. Yeah, just don't stop learning. Yeah. All right, what was I doing? I don't know. Oh yes, I was looking at story points. So now, my idea with the story points is I was going to put them down here. I was going to put in another little row down here. It'd be like story points, have a little blurb, and then users will be able to sort of edit it. I don't want to add story points on the new task section or any of the new objects sort of section. Not yet, at least. So yeah. It goes by the name programming with Mosh. Okay. The one reason why I don't want to add on extra data here is because the new sort of page is meant to set up the basic sort of thing, and then you edit it straight away. It literally, when you create something new, and let's say something new, you instantly go into here. And then there's other stuff in here, like between dates, when you want to put stuff between, and so forth like that. Something new, yeah. We can put the story points, I think, under between dates in here. I think that's the easiest way. We've also got the status and the priority that's auto filled out. The stakeholder, that technically should be above that, but we'll leave it where it is. How's the text seen in AU? It's okay. Like, we do have some of the big companies here, but not many. It's not like San Francisco or New York or something like that. We've got a lot of digital agencies, and I work at a startup at the moment. So yeah. So yeah. I think it's good, but then again, that being said, take that with a grain of salt, because I haven't worked in Sydney. I haven't worked outside of Australia, in a sense. I've only ever worked for people that have a base of operation in Melbourne. So yeah, I would take that with a grain of salt. All right, so we definitely don't want it down here. We definitely want it up here. So let's get started. Let's close that. Let's close that. We're happy with the back end and everything like that. I'm going to open up that. I'm going to open up our source JavaScript components. Ooh, am I passing that information through? I should be passing that information through. Don't know why I'm doing it that way. Give me a couple of seconds. VueJS, we might need to hit hit reload. Tasks. So we've got the task results. It opens up this. We've got the fields. All right, yeah. This is going to change when we actually move everything to the API and so forth like that. However, for the moment, we'll continue with how it is. So we've got the task story point down there, which is perfect. Do you use Linux from the very beginning when learning web development? You can pick it up whenever. Back in the day, and we're talking like 2010, I did quite a lot of system administration and so forth like that because I was just curious out of it. I started using Linux back in 2003, so by this stage I was quite confident in Linux. And I just realized we've hit an ad break. I don't know if you're in an ad break, so we are going to continue this conversation after. So, yeah. This is nice. I use the tool, but not needed to know for web. Yeah. If you're on Linux, I like to use NVM Node Version Manager for managing nodes. But there's NVM Windows, managed with Go. That does the same. Yeah. Okay. I haven't used Windows in a while. It's been, apart from the VMs for work, I haven't. I don't even have Windows at home. So, yeah. Alright, we've got about 40 seconds to go. I think, did I muck up this? No, I haven't. So, we're just going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. Go to that. And that. Alright. 20 seconds to go. The cat looks cozy. Yes, she is. How many cats do you have? I have 2. This is Socks. There's Patty. There's also Max, who's not mine. So yeah, this is Socks. She's been around since day 1 for the stream. Back in 2020. So, and welcome back, everyone. All right, to continue answering your questions. The one sort of benefit I had with knowing Linux is back in 2010, I could easily get up a LAMP server, and I did. Fairly easy to do. However, nowadays LAMP isn't as necessary as much, and you've also could potentially use Docker and so forth to sort of set up these environments and play around with setting up web servers and stuff like that. However, that's up to you if you find that interesting. So if you're like, I don't want to touch any of the system administration stuff, that's fine. Don't. That's perfectly fine. They love laying in the sun. Yes, yes. Looks like your cat. Is your cat also a tuxedo? So, yeah. Socks is very demanding at times. She likes to demand things. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to put it under there. So we are going to go into tasks, task information, and we're just going to scroll down to probably towards the bottom. So not where the submit buttons are. Not. We wanted it after between dates. Now. Tuxedo, yes, but here there's some called Bibum socks. I haven't heard that yet. Alright, but I can see it because they've got little bib and they've got little socks on their feet. So, yeah. I knew when I got socks. So she's 11 now. It's been 10 years. Yeah, she was an adult cat, had another cat die. So I was like, all right, I need another companion. And I was there and I saw her and I kind of went, yeah, I would name you Socks. And at that point, I realized I named her and it was all over and she's coming home with me. And that was it. So, yeah. All right, I'm just wondering if I should move the stakeholder up one level whilst I'm here. I'm going to say yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Okay, what's something weird that you love about your cat? I don't know if this is weird, but she's not the smartest thing. She's just not. And to put into fact, all right. So I, in my place, if we have a look, let's say this is my living room, I have an arch like this, all right? Simple arch. Got another room over here, and so forth like that. I was carrying a couch with my partner, and this is my best drawing of a couch, and she was sitting with her head sticking out. All right, so the head was out, and as we're going through the couch, as we're pushing the couch through the arch, and it just fit, by the way, this wall kept coming closer and closer to her head, and she didn't move. She kept staring it down, and we were wondering if she was going to hit the wall. She did. It just went like this to her, and just kept going, and we're like, what the hell? Usually they say that's for orange cats. I know. The One Brain Cell is a subreddit dedicated to no so genius orange cats yet. And I've had an orange cat, and she was a bit smarter than Socks. So, yeah. But I love her to bits. She also has a habit where, and I've got to break her out of this habit. So when it becomes dust time, she runs outside because she knows I'm going to shake the treats. However, she's been running outside now and running up onto the roof, and she has figured out that if she times everything right, I'll get out the treats, I'll put them at the corner, she can run up, grab some treats, and run away before I actually catch her. In the last week or two, I'm like, it's too cold out there, I'm not playing this game. And I just leave her out there, and she comes back angry. I have one cat, he's a flame point Siamese, and God, he's so introverted. Fair enough. Alright. So, if I hit refresh, there we go. So stakeholder is above now. That was just a simple fix that was going to annoy me. Then we've got task priority and all that kind of stuff down here. So we should see when the person loads up the page, who it's for and all that kind of stuff. We might change things around and so forth like that. I do kind of want to get someone to redesign NearBeach one day. I don't know. We're saving up for a UX UI developer. We've got task status and priority. Please update the task status and priority to reflect current status and priority. Then, all right, cool. That's perfectly fine. And now let's just put in this down here. So, if we go down here, we actually want it above there. I am just going to go story points. I do not like how this does this like this. I keep forgetting that this does that. So we need a HR just to separate the section, and then we need a div class equals col, and sorry, a row. Then we need a div class equals col md4. And we need another one, div class equals col md8. And we'll do that. Yes, so NearBeach is open source. You can actually view the source code. Give me 2 seconds. If I can type. There you go. So, yeah. And we also have a NearBeach command. So yeah, it is currently open source. So yeah. We don't do any hosting or anything like that. We prefer people would self-host. We do have, I don't think I've got a self-host command, but it's essentially with Docker. That would be greatly appreciated, even if it's just tips and stuff like that. So you can tell that I'm heavily utilizing Bootstrap. I might move that to the right. So yeah, I'm heavily using Bootstrap. I don't know. I'm really terrible at UI, UX, and design. So yeah, tips will be greatly appreciated. We do have a Discord. Where we do have a dev channel where you're more than likely able to give feedback in there. All right, going back into here, so we've got that. I'm just going to do a strong, I am not typing correctly today. This is really annoying. Story points. P class equals text instructions, and then we're going to talk about a story point in here. It's about the complexity. How complicated and time-consuming a single task will take. The larger the number, the larger the complexity and time. Now with story points at the moment, what we're going to do is I'm going to have to look up more information. At the moment, we're just storing the story points. We are going to get some feedback whether or not we should have some text being like, okay, this is taking approximately between this and this many hours and so forth like that. Is there a color palette that you're using or just using manual colors? One thing I learned doing UI, a pre-made battle-tested palette makes a huge difference in the experience. Cat punching is one really I like, but material is common too. As with the color palette, we once again heavily using Bootstrap. You'll notice that there's a light mode and a dark mode. I haven't done much with colors in NearBeach whatsoever. There are a few things we have done with colors, but it is to deal with the Kanban board. I gotta fix my mouse. So that's the only sort of coloring that we've done, and we got someone else to pick those colors. So I'm pretty sure we got someone else to pick those colors. So yeah, I do want to eventually build up on a theme or multiple themes in NearBeach, because some people like light, some people like dark. We might throw in another theme. I haven't thought that far ahead with a lot of this stuff, because I am a terrible designer. Alright, I think that's a good enough instruction for this. And then down here, what we want to do So we're going to go task story point model equals this dot task results. I can't wait till we go to the API for this. Fields dot task story point. Yeah, when we go to the API, a lot of this will sort of it'll be a lot better. So yeah, we'll 0.32. There'll be a lot of changes, and it'll be great. So color theme at least, I could definitely help with that. Once you set the CSS values for each color, it's easy to call it an element. I had to do that in the last few days. Okay. Yeah. I do know about the variables and all that kind of stuff. I think we've set a couple of color variables. I'm trying to remember if I did that for NearBeach or if I'm hallucinating. Most likely the latter, sadly. I know I've done it before. I've set variables for SAS, stuff like that. All right, so we've got this. Let's go all the way up. Now, I'm having a look at these. We have naive UI components. Input number. And I do believe we use input number somewhere else also. We need just something simple. And I'm probably just going to go, yeah, input number. But we need to make a minimum and maximum in it. Min and max, all right. Okay. I'm just going to copy that. We're just going to go over here. We're just going to go all the way up here. We're just going to paste it in. Oops. Now the max we'll probably put at 10 story points. And the min we'll put at 1. And the value that's going to be part of the task story point model. Easy done. So we have what we need. All right. Yep. All right. Cool. This is PyCharm. So, full disclosure, JetBrains open source license. We actually have an open source license for JetBrains products because NearBeach is open sourced. So you'll see me use the JetBrains products for anything I do with NearBeach. So yeah, or any other open source sort of stuff. Yeah. I don't mind it. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. I will say I like Rider also, so I'll use Rider for any Umbraco builds and stuff like that. So, yeah. Alright, we've got that. Okay. Now, I don't want this taking over the whole entire page, but we'll fix this up. Now, it's not working because, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to import it. What is it called? Import number. Input number? Yeah, input number. We need to put it in the components. And that shouldn't take too long to build. Famous last words. There. It actually took a lot longer. And there we are. Now, I need to add in a label and all that kind of stuff. I also need to sort of shorten this up. I mean, in reality, we could knock this down to a 2, and that would work easily. Even a 3, and that would work. But the problem is, when I start getting into smaller screens, it shrinks like that. We need a max width. So I am going to jump over to here. I'm just going to go width. There's no width in here. Not a problem. I was just seeing if they had a property for that. And Ricardo, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. I have a little bit of expertise with Tailwind. I wouldn't say I am the best. Definitely not saying I am the best. So on our main developments, on NearBeach's marketing site, you'll actually see a bit of Tailwind in there. Right, let me bump this off to the left. So yeah, we've got that. You'll also see a bit of CSS in there where I was like, I don't know how to do that in Tailwind. I'm going to cheat and put in my own little bit of CSS. So yeah, but otherwise, all this other stuff you'll see is all Tailwind. And CSM 101, I'm trying to think if that is actually something I can pronounce. Probably not. I am terrible with these sort of things. Tailwind does. Nothing against Tailwind whatsoever. Why I'm not? The one reason why I'm not using it in NearBeach is because I wasn't familiar enough with it when I started rebuilding NearBeach, and that's the only reason. Yeah. Otherwise, I purposely went out of my way to actually learn it for the marketing side because I was like, it would be good. It'll be a good thing to know. And I've used it on a couple of other client sites too. So, yeah. I find it really disconcerting that there are so many other organizations that organize pride marches and stuff, and they accept sponsorship from corporations. Like, maybe bring corporations into this is not a good idea. I don't know. Is it... is your main issue with the corporations? Or just how they do that? When did you learn how to solve Rubik's Cube? Back when I was studying maths. A long, long time ago. So it's essentially a fidget tool for me now. Alright, so going back into the code, we are just going to scroll up here. We're gonna cheat. We're just going to go style equals max width. We're going to say 150 pixel. We're going to cheat. I would kind of agree with that. I don't think donations from the public are going to cut the mustard. Yeah. But then again, I don't know much about how these particular organizations run and all that kind of stuff, so I don't know their costs, and that's an assumption. So, yeah. Alright, I think 100 is good. We're going to stick in the label. And we're going to go story points. Like so. There are a lot of FOSS projects that do it, but if a company wants to give them money without anything in return, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of FOSS projects that get supported by the community. So VueJS has a Patreon. So Patreon, VueJS. It probably also has a GitHub one too. GitHub sponsors VueJS. GitHub sponsors, there we go. And stuff like that. I know that there's the Patreon. I've just opened up that, and yeah, there's GitHub sponsors and stuff like that, which is neat. You like the sound of the keyboard? It is a keyboard. Yeah, Keychron K2 with blue switches. So, yeah. It's when they get something in return that becomes a problem, yeah. So, especially when that's... I'll say there's a caveat here. If, let's say they want, the community and the corporation wants a particular feature built in an open source project, and the corporation goes, all right, here's some money to do it. I think that's okay. But if they're doing it to build their own, like getting their own feature requests sort of put up the top of the queue, then yeah, it becomes an issue. Yeah. It's complicated, and a lot more complicated than what I can sort of articulate. So yeah, but I can see your point. I could definitely see your point. So we've got that. We should go back into here. We're just going to go refresh. I'm just going to close some of these. So we've got story points now. I'm just thinking, if the story points, I'm just going to have a look. Story points 2 hours definition. If there's any sort of connection. If memory serves me correctly, there wasn't. Not a precise time estimate. Yeah, I was just wondering if there is a range. Alright, clients prefer time estimates because it's something that they can relate to. Sometimes, for example, 2 story points correspond to a task that will take 2 to 4 hours, 3 story points, 4 to 8, and so forth. Yeah, I'm just thinking if I could grab those numbers and be like, alright, cool, here's the approximate hours down at the bottom. I don't know. When I contribute to free software, I only do it to GPL version 3 licensed projects because otherwise it's free work for companies like Google and Facebook. Okay, fair enough. I just started looking into recently the GPL and allows corporations to sell the software. Yes, but they have to share the changes back. Apparently it goes against FOSS to single out companies, which I don't agree at all. We need a version 3 that makes it so no one can profit on it. I work in many software companies, and every single one of them uses Apache or MLT license code, and they'll change it and make money off it. Yeah. Yep. I actually don't know the license for this. Alright, I'm just going to click on this one. I didn't want translations, I just want the license. Alright, here it is. I just need to scroll down. I was making things way too complicated. Legal is complicated. Yes, and it's well over my head and I'll never understand it. This is why if I ever need a lawyer, I will get a lawyer. So, yeah. Kind of like my accountant. A lot of the stuff I just don't know. So I have an accountant. Alright, the general public license, copyleft for the software, which reminds me, I've got to start wrapping up all my tax stuff too soon. The license, Okay. Yep. Alright, so we've got story points. I'm just wondering if at one particular point, I will be like, listen, this particular task is getting really complicated. Would you consider breaking it up? Or something like that. It's breaking it down into smaller components. Sure, lawyers only make things complicated, so we need other lawyers. Yes. Yeah. And they're just keeping themselves in business. But they're being smart. It's like the developer not making bug-free code. You know, it's just keeping themselves in business. Alright, cool. At the moment, I'm not going to do a translation. However, that's up to everyone. I'm happy to put into here if everyone can agree. Listen, for one story point, it should be about between these and this hours. For two story points, this and this hours. I'm happy to do that. But I just don't know the numbers at the moment. So yeah. Anyway, we're back on another ad break. For those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour on Twitch, so no one gets pre-rolled ads. Don't worry, you don't get ads. Some people on Twitch don't get ads. However, some people do get ads. I just don't want them to miss out on stuff. So you get to see me do this. So yeah, hopefully everyone's going well tonight. We are getting some progress done with the story points. I feel like we'll do a release tonight with story points in it. I don't see this taking 2 streams. Famous last words, I could screw up something majorly and just absolutely be like, whoops. Yeah. Anyway, we're just going to do this very, very quickly. We are going to bump that into there we go. Done. Alright, we are about 20 seconds left with the ads. I just realized, because now I'm looking at myself, just how rugged up tonight I am. I could get out the dressing gown too. Oh, the Oodie? Oodie? I think the Oodie. That's a little too embarrassing. More embarrassing than my cat pajamas. Anyway, welcome back everyone. You rocked it. I will say I rocked it last night. So, I had to ride a bit over 2 hours in the rain last night, and it was cold, and I didn't have any of my wets with me. So I was quite drenched. So yeah, I love the pocket. Ooh, fair enough. I haven't tested any of the cats with the pocket yet. Yeah, I might do that. I used to have a cat, Eve, my very first cat. She was the ginger. I used to pick her up and put her in my laptop bag, and she used to love it. She used to just sleep in there, and I'll be walking around the house with her like that. Fun times. Alright, so I'm happy with that. We've now got to send it to the backend to get the backend to update this. So I need to find the Ajax called task information, task number save. Yep, this is it. So we need to go data to send.set. This is going to be task story point. This.task story point model. Like a kangaroo, yep. Now, I'm going to make people very, very jealous. I sadly don't have the photo. I will have to track down the photo. It's probably on Facebook somewhere. But I got to feed a baby kangaroo. A little Joey, they're called. So, if you don't know, Joeys will jump into bags and stuff like that. So, I had a little tiny sort of material bag. I forgot what type of material it was. I opened it up. Joey jumped in. I pulled it up, sat down, held Joey, got a bottle of, I think it was milk or something. I'm going to have to look at the photos. We're talking like 12 years ago, maybe more, 13 years ago. And yeah, got to feed a little baby Joey. So yeah, its mother sadly was killed in a car crash, and it was just, it's a big Joey now, yes. Yeah, definitely a big Joey now. Yeah, its mother was killed in a car crash, and I just happened to be, it was the housemate's parents. We went to their place, and they were looking after it and stuff like that. So, yeah. I'm sure if it's alive, it's still hanging around the property. So, yeah. Why was its mother's driving? Sorry, its mother was hit by a car. I don't know what I said. Highly likely I would have said the wrong thing. So, yeah. Did I say his mother was involved in a car crash or something? Yep. Yep. Highly likely. Yep, alright, cool. I said the wrong thing. Yeah, its mother was hit by a car. So, yeah. I choose to interpret it that way. Yes, do it. Do it. Do they wander onto the roads often? Yeah, they'll just hop over the roads and stuff like that. They'll, I have a friend who's hit like 3 within 6 months, like totaled 3 cars in 6 months. And he was just driving at night and they just went boop right in front of it. So, yeah, you gotta be careful in some areas. And there's nothing you can do sometimes. It's either you swerve out of the way, lose control of the car, and then you're hitting a tree, which is significantly a lot worse for you, or you take out the kangaroo and you still survive. So, yeah. Alright, going NearBeach views. We're going to deal with the back end at the moment. We've got the new task in here. Now, there's a couple of things we've got to actually edit. We've got to edit the form. So we've got to tell the form, hey, we've got this new field we're getting. So fields, we've got all of that. We're going to go task story point in here. And that's just us saying to the field, hey, listen, we've got a new task and stuff like that. Whoop. All right, she's back, everyone. I don't know the rules around that. I don't own a firearm. I've got a couple of friends who do own firearms and stuff like that. I don't know if it's state by state rules or if it's federal level. I think it's got to be unloaded. Yeah, you can't drive with a loaded firearm. Even before you get a letter, all Victorian license holders should, when travelling interstate, check with the police firearm registry as to licensing and storing requirements. Alright, cool. So it looks like state by state is different. You're strongly advised to get a padded cover or hard case in which to carry your firearm. Alright, cool. This ensures the firearm is protected and stays in good condition. It is also less obvious, so it's less likely to alarm other member of public. Fair enough. Lawful and proper, sufficient purpose to have firearms which is unloaded in your vehicle only on the way to and from a hunting trip. Alright, shooting range or for other general reasons. So, yeah. In the case the kangaroo suffers from suffering, I feel like this should be allowed. I think it is a good enough reason. So, yeah. I do think that is a good enough reason, too. Sad. But, yeah. Alright, going with this task view. So we're now passing through the form. And then it's because we don't have all the ID and stuff like that. We just put it in. Oh, this is a new save. New task form. I've done the wrong thing. We don't need it for the new task form. Sorry. I'm going to remove that. We've got the task information, and then we should have task information saved. Once again, we're going to be moving this into the API in 0.32. Until then, we're still continuing with this process because the API isn't there yet. So we're going to have task story point there. You've heard stories about other animals were hit and the people can't do anything about it, which is sad. Yeah. One thing that might come from self-driving technology is preventing that, but I don't know. I also don't know if that's possible because a lot of the times it's just fast. It just happens straight away. You won't be able to swerve. And going... In Australia, in the country, you can have roads that go usually at 100 kilometers an hour, but in special cases up to 120. And that's extremely fast. And if you just suddenly swerve or anything like that, you've lost control of your car. So, yeah. I don't know. I've seen what it's like now, and it needs a lot of work. Yeah. And they, yeah. Actually, how fast are kangaroos? Because they tend to jump. Yeah, 70 kilometers an hour. So, if you're... Let's say this is a road. A country road, alright. Usually you might have an embankment or something there for water on both sides. And then you've probably got a sort of simple fence. And then you've probably got trees and stuff like that over here. Alright. Yeah, if you're going 100 this way, and a kangaroo's going 70 this way, there's not much you can do. That's in kilometers an hour. So 70 kilometers per hour to miles per hour, that's about 43 miles per hour. Alright, so we've got story point in here. We are going to go back up into here. So we've got the update task. We're going to go update task dot task story point equals form dot clear data task story point. Alright. Yep, that should be fun. That should update. Alright, let's test that out. So if I hit refresh, we go down here. I'm going to pick 3. We're going to hit update. It's saying task saved successfully. I'll refresh. We've got a 3. Perfect. Cool. I really want to use metric assistance for everything, but the US rely. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, that's fine. You only really need the metric if you're in a country which has metric and stuff like that. So if I ever find myself in like places that use Fahrenheit or so forth like that, I will learn a little bit of Fahrenheit. But I kind of do know, just because I've been translating a lot of the weather temperatures and stuff like that from one to the other, I'm like okay with it. So I know 100 is around about 35 here. C to F. Oh, actually, there we go, 38. Sorry, my bad. It's 38, and that's really stinking hot. So, yeah. And I know 25 is really pleasant, so your 77s. I do know that 50 Fahrenheit is 10 degrees Celsius, so it's getting actually really, really cold. And then when it was really, really freezing and it gets below 40 degrees, I am just like, yes. But then again, another person has pointed out in chat earlier, that's probably shorts and t-shirt weather in our country. Alright, for Sweden, yes. So, yeah. Pretty much every other, yeah. I'm trying to remember when Australia, I think it was the 60s. '70s? The conversion of measurements, metrication, started in 1971, are under the direction of the Metric Conversion Board and actively processed until the board was disbanded in 1981. Neat. Alright, I thought it was a lot earlier. So, yeah, cool. You learn a new thing every year. Because, yeah, I know we went from shillings and stuff like that. I can't spell tonight. We went from shillings and stuff like that from, yeah, 66. And I just made the assumption we did everything around then. So, yeah. Yeah, so we switched. We had imperial units for ages. Yeah. Alright. So, damn it, Nightbot. 63.33. How are you going, Unholy? Oh, hopefully next time. We've got to knock Nightbot off its perch. Alright, so story points is done for this. We can do it for the other ones very quickly. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to put this one over here. I'm going to put this one over here. We've got the forms, that's fine. I am just going to do it very quickly for the project. We're going to do the same sort of method too with the project. It's going to automatically do the story point of 1, and then we, yeah. So, I want source. JavaScript components, we want project information. I'm going to put this over here so you guys can see. We are just going to go all the way down to the bottom. I am going to go find objects, list all objects. Let's open up a project. So in a project, I'm going to move the stakeholder back up here. I think that's a little bit better to do. So we're going to go down here. Stakeholder is 8, I think. Oops, no, 7. And we're going to go like this. And we're just going to be like, yeah. With this, it's going to be very, very simple to do. So I'm going to cheat. Oops. I'm just going to scroll all the way up. So that will be 21. Okay, cool. So instead of task story point, we're just going to go project story point model. Easy done. We're going to scroll down here, down into our data. And we're just going to go project story point model. And that's going to be this dot project results. That's going to be 0. Once again, when we move to the API, this is going to be a lot better. We just do that. Then what we want to do is we want to do update dates, update project. Down here, what we want to do, data to send dot set project story point. Going to this dot project story point model. Easy done. And then we're just going to deal with the backend. So we scroll back up to the backend. We go into the project views. We're just going to go project information save. And here it is. So the form, we actually want to edit the form. So we're going to go into this implementation. We're going to scroll down and we're going to go project story point. We're inserting it. We're going to be happy with it. We're going to go back over here. So we've just done that. Is form valid? All that kind of stuff. We're just going to go project update dot project story point equals form.cleaned data project story point. And that should deal with that. And yeah, that's all the connections with the any link cards or anything like that. So yeah. Which once again, we will be moving this all to the API. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting distracted with the cube. All right, so let's test this out. I'm gonna refresh. I've broken it already, not a problem. Oh, and thank you. WSplit1, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. So, yeah. Now, what have I broken? I've broken everything. Every single time I break everything. Don't worry about that. So imports, we got the n select up here, but we need the input number. We also need to go down here and go n input number, and that's it. We've just forgotten to state, hey, we're also using this particular component. So now we're just going to wait around about 5 seconds for this to sort of reconfigure. There we go. So go back into here, we hit that. We've also got task over here. We need to say project. So and another thing I want to do is I'm going to put in something small down here. I'm just going to go p class equals text in actually I don't think that will work. Yeah, no, that's just alerts. I know I have a custom. I know I have a custom one. I'm just going to put that in there at the moment, and we're just going to have a look. We'll see what it looks like. Yeah, I didn't like it. Perfect, actually. This is perfect. Yep. So what we actually want to do is vf equals, we're doing that. We're going to break this down like that. We're going to go if the project story point model is greater than 5. We're going to state in here, this is a large project. It is best to break this up into smaller tasks. Alright, cool. Just a little warning type of thing. In fact, I might change that to info. Just because we don't want the user being like, oh no, I can't do that. And be like, no, you can do that. This is just a bit of info. So if they're here and they go up to like that, alright, cool. Now, info doesn't look like there is any text color. Let's go text alignment. No. I don't know why I clicked on text alignment. Reset color. No. No. Oh. Actually, div class alert info. Yeah, so we're going to do one of these sort of alerts. Need a like that. So what we want to do, just cut that out, put that in there, do something like that. Wait a little while, hit refresh. We might put a bit of margin top in there. Margin top, we might do, I think it's, oops, sorry about that. I'm just throwing my scarf around. Yeah, margin top 3. Easy done. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go vif, breaking these down like this, and then we go vif project story point model is greater than 5. All right, cool. And then I'm just going to go info, like so, and yeah, we'll see how that looks. There we go. I'm going to hit update project. Everything looks like it's saved. If we go bang, perfect. So project is now done. Now we just need to do a requirement item. And I am just going to solve this cube very, very quickly. Sorry, I am getting very distracted. All right, so requirement item. I'm going to close that. I'm going to close that. We are going to open up the requirements. So this is requirement item information. So if we were to go here, let's go list all objects. This is actually a child object. So requirements won't actually have the story points, and the reason being is it's a very high up, it's a parent object, and the idea is it will actually calculate its own story points by what you put in the requirement items. So in here we'll probably have this, and then information passing through of how many story points and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. If we go into here, there we go, we've got the stakeholder there, that's perfectly fine. We've got the priority, and then we'll have the, it's just down there. So, let's scroll all the way down. So we've got the submit button, we're gonna have it down at the bottom. Now, if memory serves me correctly, it's 21. Yep, perfect. What we need to do is search for task, then go item, requirement, item will take. All right, cool. This will be a requirement item story point. So we're going to go down, we're going to go n select and n input number. Easy done. We're going to go down here. We've done this a dozen times now. N input number. We're going to scroll all the way down to our data. We're going to go requirement item story point. That will be this dot requirement item results. And then fields dot requirement item story point. Like so. Now that got to go up here. I like things in alphabetical order where possible. I know these are out of their yeah. So we've got all of that. And oops. Then what we need to do is to the back end. So we go up here, we go requirement items, views. We scroll down, not to the add link. We're not worried about it when we're adding it. So new requirement item, definitely not needing that. Requirement item information will be the next one. Requirement item information save. So we need to update requirement item form. We got to go to that implementation. And in here, we're going to write in requirement item story point. Easy done. And then we go in here. Requirement item submit equal dot requirement item story point equals form dot cleaned data. I'm gonna have to do that like this, and then requirement item story point like so. And we just got an ad. All right, for those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour on Twitch to stop people getting pre-rolled ads. Some people on Twitch don't get ads. Don't worry about that. For those that do get ads, yeah, we just pause so no one misses out. So yeah, but you do get to spend a minute and a half with me and maybe Socks. She's like, I'm in my bed tonight. Yes, she is. She's got a bed back. Her bed back. Okay, cool. He's done doing the cube. I've got all the corners correct that time. All right, so there we go. There's our cube. We're with the ads, 15 seconds. And Ivanhoe, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome back. Have you been busy? We are wrapping down for the 0 to 31 branch. And welcome back, everyone. We'll jump right back into it. So the requirements should still be in the story points should be in there. So now if we do this, we don't have that connected. Ooh, I've broken something. All right, just wait. I gotta scratch my eye. All right, I am moving that off to the left so you guys can see what's going to happen. And also, thank you very much, August Lurk, for the follow. Welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying, I'm assuming, the lurk. So, yes, welcome. All right, with this particular one, we've got the requirement item results. We're going to open this up. We're going to open up the fields. We should see requirement item story point in there. That should be a 1. We've got nothing in there. Doing fine. All right, that's good to hear. Not more busy than usual. Okay, fair enough. I'm extremely busy at the moment. It is just hectic. So yeah, I'm just like running around going, oh my god, I got so many things to do. So yes. Now what I'm going to do is, I've made a mistake down here. I needed to write in model in there. That's my bad. And yes, welcome. Yes, and the drop. But I do like that emote. They're waving the whole entire time down. We're gonna do shocked max. So I'm just gonna hit reload. We've got a story point on there. I'm also gonna copy what we did with the projects. With the tasks, will probably be like something that's taken this long should be probably broken down into multiple different tasks. But I'm going to get feedback first on that. And the reason being is the task is the lowest, simplest object in NearBeach. So yeah, you'll have, if you're going to use the whole hierarchy, you got requirements, which is a helicopter of what the user wants. So you got requirement items, which is broken down into user stories. From there, you would create projects and tasks, where projects would have multiple tasks assigned to them, and they should tackle at least a requirement item or multiple requirement items. And yeah, the tasks should be tackling one small task. However, that said, we're using NearBeach, so it can be flexible as hell. Alright, so I've done that. I am going to find that little info thing. I just need to open up the project stuff, don't I? So that's 6. So down here, and we just go paste it in. This will be requirement item, story point model. So this is a large requirement item. Remember, you will be able to break this down into multiple projects and tasks. So yeah, it's just a little info, just to make everyone happy. Alright, so we're down here, we're going to go, boom, up to 6, update requirement. Ooh, we've got a 400. I've done something wrong, bad request. Requirement item story point, because I didn't add it into the, alright. We scroll down to where we're sending the data. So we've got update requirement item. We touch everything. Make sure it isn't invalid. We go down here and we're like, all right, sweet. Data to send dot set requirement item story point. This dot requirement item story point model. This is getting long, and that should be it. So I can close this. I can close this. We just hit refresh. We bounce that up to 6. We're going to hit that. Boom. That's saved. We're going to hit refresh. Boom. All right. I'm happy with that. So it looks like this is all working perfectly fine. This was going to be a very quick and easy sort of task to do. It's 8:30. We're still got, I think I could go for another hour and a half easily. So yeah. Oh, sorry, Ivanhoe. I didn't realize. Is it cold in your room? Yes, yes, it is. It is. Sorry, I just saw that. I was in my own little head. It is now 9 degrees Celsius, or for those in Fahrenheit, 48. Yes, I am. August lurk. So yeah, it's just been busy. Just very, very busy. I'm not tired tonight, which is good. Monday night, I was too tired to actually stream. I was like, I just can't do it. Yes, it is cold at the moment. So it's probably going to get down to 6 degrees when I cycle into work tomorrow. It might be at that point being like, yeah, I cycled in on Tuesday. Do I need to cycle on a Thursday? But no, I should cycle in. I need the exercise. The heating system's in a different room. So, and that and also 2 reasons. 1, it's in a different room. 2, gas is just too expensive at the moment. 10 years ago when I bought this place, I was looking for gas because it was a lot cheaper than electricity to run heating and stuff like that. Oh, how the tables have turned, and they've turned hard. So yeah, it might be one of those things that I might just upgrade to have the heat pumps and stuff like that. So yeah. But I also want double glazing too, so that way I'm not leaching out so much heat and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a plan. I just don't want to spend a lot of money at the moment. I'm so close to paying this place off. I'm just like, oh, this is so close to paying it off. Alright, so going back into here. We've done all of that. I'm happy with that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go remove static. I'm going to go get status, get add everything, git commit, applied the new story points to relevant objects, git push, set upstream origin feature / story points. And then what I want to do, git flow feature finish, and then we're going to smush it. And that's a yeah, we're happy with that. I forgot to actually run some tests. So Python 3 manage test. It should still run all the tests perfectly fine. Don't emphasize words. As I get a big F. Not a problem. We'll fix that. Oh. Alright. No, I see the two Fs. I know why. So, this is test save project as team leader. I am just going to copy that. I'm just going to do this in here. We're going to jump into here. The reason being is we don't have the story point in here. So project story point. We're going to put that as a 2 in there. Easy done. That should actually be 1 space into there. And the next one is task. Is similar, but it's for task. And then we're going to have task story point in here. We're going to go at 2 also. Yeah, it's Pride Month at the moment. So yes. That's good to hear. Yeah. Welcome. So yes. I'm gay. People know that. So yeah. Yeah. Alright, so we're just going through like this. Alright, run the test. Alright, so git status, git add, git commit, fix to unit tests. And yeah, we should have done that before we actually committed the code. This is my bad. Yeah, it should run that before we're done that, because I know that there were going to be problems with the fixtures and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Well, it's done. We fixed it in next to no time. I'm just going to quickly log in. I should just log in without it releasing any of my details. That's good. Unlike certain other applications that are like, ooh. So we know this one failed. We've fixed it. That one, develop. Yeah. All right, cool. This one should finish. All right. Ooh. I say I wasn't tired, and then that yawn just hit me. Let's go into here. Let's go into our issues. All right, that's the fix last month. My current issues are all of these. We are ignoring any RC1s. So we're gonna fix those up when we actually start doing the alpha 0.32. The reason being is a lot of those are aren't really important at the moment, or they're sort of blocked by the fact that I need to start something in 0.32. I see Robotic doesn't use vibe coding, but the vibe of the stream is great. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, we also have a cat who will constantly knock off the webcam every now and then. So, yep. The reason why I have a dodgy webcam is because I had a good webcam and she broke it. She absolutely hated that webcam. It was... yeah. Alright, so some of these in here we could potentially fix. Now, with the Kanban board, public links, cards do not show. Oh, cards tags do not show. Yeah, that is something we do kind of want to fix. Oh yes, don't forget to drop everyone. Exclamation point drop followed by your favorite emoji. I am doing Judgmental Lily because she likes to judge. Which reminds me, I've got to get a few more cats in my emojis soon. So yeah, take that, everyone. Judgmental Lily. Her judgment is severe. All right. So I'm just having a think how I would tackle this one particular problem. So if we were to go into, I'm just going to close that. We're going to find an object. Let's find a Kanban board. We go to a Kanban board and we're like, all right, cool. I would actually send a public link to someone. You would quite literally give them this link. They would go in here. It would open up. So there's a massive UUID connected to an object and connected to an ID and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of those steps are to verify that this person does actually have access and they're just not guessed this particular thing. So in here, the user won't be able to move any of this. This is all solidified and all that kind of stuff. They can click on the information and it brings up information, of course, but it doesn't have any of the tag information, which is a pity. Oops, just dropped the cube. And I've been tossing up whether or not to include that in here. This would be a big bug to fix. Won't be for tonight. So I'm going to probably shelve that for tonight, but I do want to get that fixed before we do 0.32, and the reason being is, excuse me, we actually have a Kanban board. So this is the NearBeach Kanban board. We also have a public link for it. And this is essentially telling people or everyone that, hey, this is what we're going to be working on and so forth like that. So you can actually go in here and read this information. However, there's a lot of tag information in there that you guys don't actually see. For example, all of these particular tags, which I kind of want showing, because that way you get to have a look at it and be like, oh, cool, he's doing that in the 0.31 branch. He's going to clean that up in the 0.31 branch and implement it in the 0.31 branch. For example, these particular things in here. Yeah. That one's blocked. That one's, I will require to get hardware for this. Right, and that I need permission to buy that stuff. That one's archived because we've done it. Easy done. So yeah. There's also a bunch of other stuff in here. Yeah, alright. So I'm going to leave that bug for the moment. It is just a normal bug. It's fine. I don't need to worry too much about it. I do want to do it in very near. I kind of want to do it soon. Cannot cancel a new sprint. I reckon we could probably have a look at this one tonight and fix it. That way we can release a new feature and a couple of fixes. It'll be nice. So, method. Log into NearBeach. Navigate to an open project. Scroll down to the... Alright, sweet. I'm just going to close all of these. We've got this. I'm going to go list all. We're going to go to an open project. We're like, alright, cool. I'm going to create a new sprint and... I can't cancel. Can't cancel at all. Alright, we are going to fix that one. Alright, I don't know what object that is, so we're going to go... Oh yeah, we're not rebuilding everything, so npm run watch. Yep, there we go. Alright, going back over here, we're going to cancel that. We're going to hit refresh. We're going to go add group to project. We realize we're in the wrong thing. We're going to go sprints, create a new sprint. So I want to go, I need to, sorry, there's a bug. You got to close that, you got to open it up, you got to go like that, you got to go like that, and then you pray. This is part of the parents module. This will be part of the sprints module under that. So we're going to go list sprints. We're going to open up this and it might actually not be part of that. Add folder, upload, no. Oh, I should be part of something. New sprint wizard. There we go. No, I was just being silly. So here it is. It's new sprint wizard. Alright, I know why the find didn't work before. It's because I was looking in a directory and that was a bit silly of me. Alright, so we've got this. It's just the cancel button. So we've got to go down and we don't actually... we don't have anything for the close module. So we go down here. We're like, alright, yeah, we don't have anything. And then... we got the close modal now. So if we scroll up, close modal, and then what we're actually doing is we're actually hitting the this button up here. So we go document get element by ID, we paste in the element itself, and we just go click. That's it. It's a hack. It's a cheat. I'm cheating with this. So yeah. We hit refresh, we go sprints, we now go create new sprint, we go cancel, boom. Look at that. Actually, I'm going to move that to the right, get rid of that. We're going to create new sprint. Oh no, cancel, done. Perfect. So what I've got to do is I've got to find the version I'm fixing this in. And hello, Jose, how are you going? Alright, NearBeach. There we go. Just going to quickly look up our latest release. So, alright, cool. So this will be... click on this. It'll be that one. Yeah, I can't complain. We are just fixing a few quick issues and then doing a release tonight. So yeah, we've implemented story points, well, the very basic story points into NearBeach. Now we've got to get some feedback with that, and yeah, I think it'll be good. Yeah, the story points weren't too hard. They're pretty much just the value at the moment. We'll extend it out with functionality that people will request. I know people will request being like, hey, can we do this? And I'll be like, yeah, we can. All right, so this is ready for retesting. Easy. So now we go back to our issues. So we drop down one. I don't think I want to tackle the add object wizard needs pagination tonight. Too many search objects will result in a lot of pagination tags. Yeah, I don't want to tackle that tonight either. That's something that I'm going to tackle with the million row data sets, which I'll hopefully start soon. We'll probably do a little research of it tonight to see how easy it is to do. Yeah, so I've got a NAS at home which I can spin up VMs on, and I'm probably going to essentially have NearBeach on one of those VMs which will have the million rows of data, and I will essentially test it using that much data. You have a question? Sure. I don't know how well I would answer questions. Sometimes I answer them really well, other times I don't. So yeah, but ask away. I've a project that I made using vibe coding, and I want to ask if you can test it with me. I just don't have time to test stuff. I'm sorry. I'm focusing on NearBeach at the moment, trying to sort of meet my own deadlines. So yeah, sorry about that. Like, is it a web page? Is it a application? So yeah. The best way to test what you're building is to actually use it. It's a web page. Okay. I do have a Discord. Feel free, we do on our Discord, when you join, we do have a tab called Your Project. Do feel free putting it in there. I do actually have a look at people's projects in there, and I do sometimes give comments. So, yeah. But yeah, at the moment, I've got to focus on NearBeach on stream. Sorry, yeah, just got to get it done. This done. Okay, editing Kanban board, cleaning slightly out the label brings up an empty modal. Ooh. Oh yeah, I remember this one. Don't know how to fix it yet. That's going to be a fun one to fix. Organizations, UI UX, the parent module tab control is too clustered. Oh yeah. All right. I think I've got a solution for this particular one. So yeah, this is really clustered. And what we want to do is, instead of having it clustered, have it as a long bar. So if we have a look at Bootstrap, so yeah, we've got these sort of like tabs like this. And what I want to do, because yeah, if you look down here, this is it's just those. And what I want to do is essentially have a look at this. Nav tabs. If I'm going to put this into this mode here, we can see it like down here. So we've got all the tabs like that. And just wondering about overflow. And we can play around with the autoflow right now. So we don't want clip, hidden, or anything like that. All right, and then this is also flex too. So where it's the your project channel. All right, so when you join, you've got to accept a couple of the terms. So I think, oops, I didn't want to do that. I am just going to reopen up that tab. I can't. All right, that was weird. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. One of my mods set this up for me. I think under rules and roles, you've just got to state who you are, and I think that's it. And then everything unlocks. Oh no, that's yeah. Otherwise, once you've done that, your project's channel is under general. So I should send a I should double check how this is done again. I just don't have a secondary Discord channel. User. Ooh, ad break ends. I'm sorry, we've hit ads. All right, hopefully everyone's going well. All right, let's quickly do this. Yeah, let's get a couple of bugs fixed tonight. Let's get them out the door. Let's be like, all right, cool, done. I can't believe we're on the 80th patch for 0.31. It's just amazing. Considering it came out, when did we release the 0.31? I'm gonna have to look back at the times. Yeah. Okay, 14 seconds left. So, yeah, 15. Oh, yep, fair enough. Jose, yep, fair enough. Anyway, have fun. Anyway, welcome back, everyone. So, yeah, I'm just having a look at this one. I'm going to copy the nav tabs. I think I'm on the wrong one up here, so I'm just going to go nav tabs. All right, basic. All right, so yeah, we've got the tabs. Working with Flex, series of Flexbox utilities values. These are. Yeah, I need. Oh. Yeah, what I need is to sort of that doesn't work or anything like that. I mean, that's all right. I'm gonna search Bootstrap nav tabs mobile overflow. Using Bootstrap nav tabs cause the child div to overflow. Yeah. If I go into here. It won't let me do that. Because yeah, each of those are a list item. And that's what they've got in here. Oops. CSS on sort of lists, horizontal flow. Display inline. All right, yeah, that's fine. But how do we do unsorted list? CSS, unsorted lists, horizontal overflow. White space, no wrap, display inline. All right, let's try that. I'm just gonna hit refresh because it'll take us a second to get here. We're gonna click on this. We're gonna go white space. What was it? White space, no wrap. Easy done. And then these particular ones. I want to have as display inline. And it is You ever done white space no wrap? Yeah, I'm just not getting it done. All right. One thing which I wanted to sort of see if I could quickly do is if I could have it so that the users on the mobile phone could just go here and be like, all right, cool. I just need to scroll across to get any bit of information I require. Looks like it's going to be a lot harder than I anticipate. I don't like how it's like this. I think I should do this a lot better. And yeah, might be one of those things that I have to sort of program in. All right. Not a problem. Oh, sorry. Oh. Navs and tabs. Yeah. Seeing what else I can do with this. We've got layout, we've got content, we've got forms, we've got components. We also have, what are the things that come from the side? Pagination, placeholders, popovers. Oh no, that's that. All right, no, that's not what I wanted. Toast, helpers, utilities. Okay. So I won't be able to fix this bug tonight, but that's fine. That needs a little bit of research to do. All right. The Kanban public link cards do not show tags. Once again, that's going to take a little while for me to actually do. Object wizard needs pagination. That's going to take me a little while to do. However, it's something we could easily do next stream. There's too many search objects. That I need to actually confirm. It might be something that Bootstrap automatically takes care of. The next sort of thing is, otherwise I think I can find a solution for it. Too many search objects will result in, all right, edited Kanban outside that. I think we can probably fix this one tonight. That if I click outside the label of the card, it will not bring up the card details. We'll need to fix this. So if I go into here, let's get back into this version. Let's go bang into here. Let's scroll down to Kanban board. Let's edit this Kanban board. So if I click over here, it's slightly out of the label. I think this is fixed. All right, let's have a look. What we're going to do is we're going to move that to the left. So you'll notice with this one, we've got the ID, we've got the data and data title, and then we sort of spread that information all onto this. It's on the content that we haven't done it. All right. So if I go over here and I double click over here, there it is. All right, cool. So that's it. You know, in reality, what I could do is I could be like, if that isn't found, we go up to the parent. If that isn't found, we go up to the parent, and so forth like that. I think that could be a potential solution. Yeah. All right. Let's go for this. Let's fix this up very, very quickly. So this is part of the Kanban property order. Which is part of this. All right, so if we scroll up, we've got a draggable, we've got a div, we've got a strong, that's perfectly fine. Add button, modal for adding extra row, that's all good and dandy. So it's this one little bit of content in here that's the issue. So what actually happens is someone double clicks on this and yeah, they have problems. Because we can't get any of this data. So there's two ways of doing this. One, we could just copy in this particular data, which won't take very, very long to do. Or the other way is we program it to be like, hey, if there isn't any data, go up at least 2 parents. Go up 1, check. Go up the second, and then check. However, that being said, this is 5. It's as simple as that. That's it. So we just got to wait for this to compile. And I'm just going to hit reload. So we got it just over here. Boom. All right, cool. We're now getting it to work flawlessly. And that was it. It just needed this data. Now, I understand doing it like this is not ideal. it is something we could potentially look at, being like, hey, if there isn't any data, go up the parent. If the parent doesn't have any data, get the parent. And go up till a certain level. So yeah. So that is a bug fix. I realized we fixed 2 bugs. Alright, git add source JavaScript components. Let's go modules. This will be a bug fix. This was for the other one. Oops, sorry about that. This is for version 80. If I go into issues, let's make this one for 80. For this one, we will grab this text up here. We've got the bug fix. I'm just going to paste it in. We've got to do that. And then, cool. And then git status. Git push. I'm going to git push that. Git status, git add, git commit. Bug fix. And then all right, sweet. So 2 bugs fixed. I'm happy with that. This will be ready for retesting. Let's go back to the issues. Let's go back to my current issues. So that should drop down to 11. So organization, yeah, I can't do anything about that one yet. I'm gonna have to actually see how we can actually tackle that one. Whether or not I look at how that's designed, that might be a 032 issue. Been like, we need to actually fix this with proper design. So yeah, and update profile picture just gives us a bunch of yeah, it gives us a bunch of the profile picture sort of stuff done like that. I'm just wondering if that's an easy fix. So if I go into my profile, let's say I go down here and I upload, oh, I don't have that other photo. Oh. Let's say I open up this photo. I'm like, yay. I'm like, oops, wrong photo. Oh, it's not letting me update the photo anymore. It keeps it disabled. Oh, they must have updated something. All right. So if I update this, when it's finished, if we have a look at that, I wonder if I could get to that icon. We're going to find out. So what I've got is a equals document.getElements by class name. And we're just going to key in this class name in here. So we've got one in there. So if we go b equals a0, so we've got this b. If I go b.click, I think that might work. Now, we want to make sure I'm doing the correct one. So we want this, we want the upload file list. Info action. I need to make sure it's this one button. That we're clicking on. The idea being is if I can do that where we upload a picture onto here and I can just go, all right, cool. Once it's done, I just click on it and forget about it. I think that would be a good solution. All right, so let's have a quick look in the code. Let's see if I can actually activate something after we've uploaded the image. So under source, we've got JavaScript, we've got components, we've got users, we've got user information. However, this might not be this. This is actually the profile stuff. So we're going to go into the profile stuff first. So we want to go into profile, update profile picture. This is the one we want. So it updates action. So it sends it to there. At finish, we actually do have an at finish. So update profile picture. If we go into this, so get profile picture, this dot set profile picture to that, perfect, and that's what it's doing. And then what we want to do is close the upload button. And then because it is using just one of those, I could. In reality, we would. No, it has to be that one button. That button. So I'm just figuring out what button it is. All right, let's copy the XPath, and we're going to go var button or const button equal, or close button I should say, equals document.get element by, not tag name. Oh, it's all right. If I right hand click on this and I go CSS path. All right, we'll go into console, paste that in. We'll go document.get element by yeah, that's not going to work. Okay. Okay. That works. Alright. Anyway, I am terribly sorry about this. I just needed to run for a little bit. Hello again. It's weird to see someone in full winter gear while the 31 degrees Celsius here. Yeah, fair enough. I am in Australia. We are a little upside down. I will be right back. Terribly sorry. I won't be long. I just need to go to the bathroom. Alright, I am back. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, hopefully Sock kept you entertained. Yes? Alright. You find it set? Yeah. Alright, cool. Let's give Sock some treats. Give me 2 seconds. I've just got to find them. Oh, they're in another room. I'll be right back. Alright. No, stay in your bed. Stay in your bed. And you know where that you get no stay in your bed. In your bed. You know where you get your treats. There we go. All right. We also got the last of the pizza. And I realize I don't have any of my lattes in here. I'll be right back. All right. Let's get back into it. She's been sleeping most of the day, so her day has been great. She's been like, you know what? I want a nap. All right, we do have an ad break. I didn't time any of that. Oh, it should be like. Yeah, she did have a good day. Meanwhile, me, I've been working like this no tomorrow. She's like, worship me. All right, about 30 seconds left with the ads. And welcome back, everyone. All right, cool. Getting back into this. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was getting rid of that. So yeah, that could work. Almost. I think we just need to go down one more level. So if I inspect that, and I'm like right-hand click, and I copy the CSS selector, I can then go oh wait. Nah, it's still hitting that other thing. All right. Yeah, all right. All right, so document get elements by class name. We got one of those. I think that's just how we're going to have to do it. Get elements by class name. we're just going to paste this in. And then we're just going to do that. Yeah. I don't think there's another element on here or anything like that. So I'm just going to hit refresh. We're going to update profile. We're going to do max. We didn't hit any issues, but it didn't work. Do I have... alright. I didn't have npm run watch running. Okay. We're going to go back over here. We're going to hit refresh. We're going to upload profile picture. I'm just going to do me. Boom. All right, cool. I like that. That's going to be easy. That's going to be fixing the issue. So I am going to say, yeah, we've fixed this issue. I wish I kept that picture. That picture's awesome. I'm going to say this is definitely fixed in this particular version. We need to also copy this. And we need to go over here. We need to cancel that. We need to remove static. Git status. Git add. Git commit. Bug fix. And git push. So yeah, that's pretty much done. So we're just going to go ready for retesting. Now I think that's a good amount of bugs. We've actually completed a lot of these. Require a little bit more work. For example, this one will require a little bit of work. These will require a little bit of work. But we've only got really 4 bugs for the 031 left. Might be one of those things that we do a full bug test soon. So we go through, we'll look for any bug and how minor and stuff like that. We'll probably end up doing that next stream or something, I don't know. And then log all those bugs and issues. Now, I've got a bit of administration stuff to do very, very quickly. So we're just going to go administration, custom fields. And we're going to go NearBeach application. We're going to go version. We're going to untick version and show release. Actually, show release will be on. So we've released this. 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 And technically, we have released this. I'll be doing it tonight. So I'm just archiving all of these. We're going to make a few more versions. So we'll keep that one open for the moment. So we're going to add in a value. I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to key in a couple of colors. I forgot what number I was up to. Number 4. All right, 8. 9. And we're going to leave it at that for the moment. And I'm going to archive that one. Alright, so the 032 release candidate 1, that will actually go at the very, very bottom. If it lets me. Yeah, alright, cool. I think that's good. We want to go into issues. We want to do this one. We're all happy with that. Let's go through the process of doing the release. So NearBeach.readTheDocs. All right, cool. Procedures. Deployment of NearBeach. Do we want npm audit? Oh, socks, be careful. No vulnerabilities found. All right, npm run prod. We're running the prod right now. All right. I think I dropped a pen. I did too. I dropped a couple of things. Strong down. It's late at the night. All right, I've been working 12 and a half hours. So I am going to stop this down. I'm going to close this window because we won't need it open anymore. All right, so we've just done that. We want npm run e2e. All right. Do we have Circle CI still open? No, we don't. Circle CI, log in. All right, cool. Log in. And it's just crashed because I realized I did need everything open. So here I'm going to go Python 3 manage run server. I'm going to open up a new tab, npm run e2e. Right. I'm going to close that playwright thing. This one looks like it's going to work perfectly fine. I am going to close that. I'm going to close that. I'm going to close that. I'm going to close that. No, I'm going to close that. 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 All right, cool. So this one's still running. We do end to end. We've got a problem with one of the logins not logging in. That's fine. We come across that every now and then. So one test failed, mobile Chrome. It always happens on the mobile Chrome. Yeah, it didn't log in. That's it. So expected dashboard, it didn't log in on time. So if we run it again, a lot of the times it'll just work. And we'll be like, all right, cool. That was just it not running. Now, I know this test is going to take forever. But considering we did make a change, so we've got to keep it running. Okay. So once we do the end-to-end test, I need to actually double check the sites, NearBeach, tests. No, wrong one. Sorry, test results. Shakeout. We're going to the admin. I'm just having a quick look at everything. It's looking all correct. That's also looking correct. I'm just looking for anything that's sort of broken. This is all looking correct, which is nice. All right, cool. This ran with no problems. Yeah, once again, it just didn't log in on time. So I'm quite happy with that. So we've just done all of those texts. Check that, push everything back. All right, cool. Git status, git add everything, git commit. Release 0.31.80. Holy hell. My God. If we were to go to actually, we'll go to github.com, NearBeach, because we'll be pushing it up there. I just want to see when we did the initial release. So there's 34, that's 35, there's release candidate 1, and that was at the end of Feb. I am going to take that. 66 weeks, so we've still got just more than one release per week. So if we were to do 80 divided by 66, we've got 1.212121212121 releases a week. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. All right, so that's been pushed. I am going to go into NearBeach. We're going to hit the compare and pull request. This is where we are going to go new features. Story points have been implemented against the following objects. And that would be requirement items, projects, and tasks. All right, cool. Bug fixes. And this is where we go into here. We just do the oldest to the youngest. We're just going to click on this and then this. And then go back into here and do something like this. All right, cool. And then I am doing a pull request. All right, sweet. So we know pretty much most of this will pass without any problem. I'm going to hit this. I'm going to bypass the rules because I'm naughty, and I'm just going to confirm that bypass. Naughty. And then what we want to do is we want to click on here. We want to go down here. We want to create a new release. We're just going to paste this in like this. We're going to go 0.31.80. And then we're going to go 0.31.80. This is pre-release. All right, cool. And then that's it. Cool. So, we've got 3180 out. 3180 will be released within half an hour. We've just got automatic processes that will spin this out. I'm happy. We got stuff done. There's, really not much more we can do tonight. I do want to have a quick look into generating fake data. Generating dummy data with Python's Faker module. All right, I just want to have a quick look into this. We won't spend too much on it, and then we'll rate someone. So in software development, especially during testing and development phases, having realistic data is crucial, yes, because we actually want to see what NearBeach will look like with a lot of data in it. However, manually creating large sets of test data can be time consuming. This is where the Faker module comes in handy. In this tutorial, we'll walk through the process of importing Faker into a Django project, add fake data into a student model, and yep, all right, cool. What's Faker? Faker is a Python library that generates fake data for various purposes such as testing, populating databases, and creating realistic sample data sets. It supports a wide range of data types, including names, addresses, emails, data dates, and much more. Faker provides a localized providers for generating. Yep. All right. Cool. Sweet. All right. Install Faker. Yep. We've already got the things defined. For underscore in range 10, generating 10 fake student object. Okay. So we would have to create a script for all of this. This would be easily done. If I created a script for it. I am just also thinking at the same time. Okay. Okay, so I just need to actually populate the data with fake data, the database with fake data. It looks like we just got to create a simple script for that. I can probably do that relatively easy. Your famous last words. I think it'll be fun on stream to do that. So, yeah. Anyway, I am going to call it there tonight because I've achieved what we wanted. We're doing another release. This one should be perfectly fine. It will release in about half an hour. That's probably 45 minutes. That's just how long everything takes. Let's go raid someone. All right. Yeah. We haven't raided him in a little while. So, yeah, let's... Anyway, I'll get the music off. We'll go over here. So yeah, thank you very much everyone for coming tonight. It has been wonderful. We got a lot done. I am now in the process of winding up 0.31. So if you guys have a look at the NearBeach blogs, you'll actually notice that I wrote an article about essentially our goals for it and so forth like that. And what of our... we want to finish off things before we start 0.32. So yeah, we've got defined, definitive. We need to complete these, and this is this is when they'll be completed and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, and I do hope you enjoy Royd's. I keep forgetting how to pronounce his name. So yeah, I do hope you enjoy the next stream. So yeah, thank you. And for those on YouTube, sorry you won't be able to follow us with the raid, but thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it actually does help the stream. So yeah, thank you very much.